Have you ever really wondered, if you were your own worst enemy? Truth is, we all can be. I mean, take me, for instance. Over this last month, really stressed about this talk today, but then I realized that I should really be worrying about my hair in this humidity. And so if you see my hair getting curlier while I'm talking, please just consider it my visual aid for today's conversation on reaction. Honestly, though, my hair reacting is the very least of my reactive background. I grew up in a home where reaction meant survival. Fight, flight, freeze were very real, with flight always the best option. We learned early, read the room and escape. But those reactions didn't stay with me in childhood. They grew up right along with me, just like yours. And they have impacted every career, every relationship, every situation that I've ever been in where I have felt pressure, conflict, or doubt. What started as survival became my default pattern. You see, our brain is wired to react first. That's our default. And that default can cost us far more than we realize. Let me show you what I mean. I've been married to a wonderful man for many years, and like all wonderful marriages, we sometimes have what I like to call discussions. And we were having one, and in my infinite wisdom and my sincere goal to be helpful, I looked at him and said, "Honey, you just need to calm down." So, in case you're wondering, that doesn't work on men any more than it ever worked on women. Zip, zero, do not recommend. But the truth is, as soon as those words left my mouth, I knew. I knew my fight reaction had kicked in, and now my goal was simply to win at all cost. And when he heard it, he reacted right back. Great, now 2 reactive people, each fighting to win, not to solve. That's the moment I want to talk to you about. Not the argument, not who started it, the moment before reaction, when we both had a choice and failed to make it. And all of you have moments just like that with your partner, your kids. It could be a coworker or a boss, or maybe that one person who simply disagrees with you. And you've told yourself, I will not react. I will not react. And then you react. Reaction is not a character flaw, though. It is not a weakness. It is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. It's running a program you didn't write. It's creating a solution you didn't choose, all in its goal to keep you safe. So here's what living a reactive life has really taught me. When we react, we surrender our power. But when we respond, we can reclaim it. But reactions are hard to stop. I mean, they're subconscious, and we don't always recognize we're reacting until our thinking brain shows back up. You know, we react with fight, flight, freeze, and fawn, which is just a fancy word for people pleasing our way out of danger. And we've done all 4, maybe even before breakfast. Our primal brain, you see, doesn't always remember the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and that one person who woke up this morning and even before coffee was rubbing their hands together and going, how am I going to get Cheryle today? Just fill in your own name. Psychologist Daniel Goleman calls this an amygdala hijack. You know, when your primal brain stages that hostile takeover and your thinking brain basically just shuts down. Kind of like this. Picture a room filled with angry people, ready to shoot the messenger, me. And as they reacted, I did too. I froze, like literally deer in the headlights froze. And my thinking brain just left the building. I swear, I saw it head out the door on its way down to the corner pub, and my body was left trying to figure out a way to join it. Our body's initial chemical reaction to that hijack only lasts around 90 seconds. So this shouldn't be that big a deal, should it? But we don't stop there. We keep right on reacting. Neuroscientists call this rumination. Sounds like something my grandmother had, and it's just as painful. Rumination can keep our reactive cycle going 90 minutes or longer. I don't know about you, but please count me out, because that's not having a bad day. That's having a bad day over and over every day. And it can get worse. When it's not just your reaction or my reaction, but everyone's together, then society can suffer. You know, one research project found that people on opposite sides of the political divide dramatically misjudge what the other side actually believes. Not a little, a lot. It seems the people that we can fear the most may largely be a figment of our imagination. Perception gaps like this happen because the way we actually judge others. You see, we judge ourselves based on our intentions, but we judge others based on our interpretation of their actions. Two very different standards. And that gap between what somebody says and does and why we think they did it is where so much conflict can live. Whether it's a marriage or a team or society, when both sides react based on invented stories, what do you think the odds are that we find real common ground and real solutions? That's the cost of default. When our reactions overcome and take over and truth never gets a chance. You see, yes, our brain is wired to react first, but we can choose to respond. So let's do it. Let's respond. I mean, you know, people who want different outcomes decide in advance what they want those outcomes to look like. So that means we need new goals. Not winning, not proving our point, not just being right. Those aren't really goals. They're more reactions with a plan. Real goals look more like this. Honor ourselves and others, regardless of how they show up. Listen with the intent to understand their why, because you know what? We might just learn something. Seek alignment, not just division, and protect relationships, because responding is actually more than just thinking before we speak. It's remembering what we're capable of creating together, instead of just one person solving, winning, or proving their point. And with these new goals, our brain now has somewhere new to go besides attack or retreat. But to do this, we need a little bit of curiosity and just a little bit of courage. Curiosity to discover what we might be missing, and courage to act on it, even if it makes us uncomfortable. So when you're a difficult person, you know, the one that was rubbing their hands together this morning, says something that embarrasses, demeans, or challenges you, every instinct may be to attack or retreat, but instead, just remember one word: respond. because now that word has meaning and it will pull you back to your goals. It allows you to take back control of the conversation. So instead, just say, help me understand what I'm missing. Okay, yeah, I know that that can sound a little bit silly, but it actually does a couple of things. It allows me to position myself as an interested party, not an adversary. And it allows me to start talking about what was said without judging intent. So when your trigger hits, and it will, then respond, embrace what it means to me. And yes, I know I can't sing, but it's such a great song. But seriously, if you want RESPECT, then RESPOND. And stop being your own worst enemy. Take back your control and always remember that when you choose to respond, when you show up curious and not combative, you switch the power dynamic in the conversation back to you. You see, they were expecting your reaction, but you just took away the fight. So, here's how Respond looks in real life. Every January, I host a chili supper. It is a house overflowing with mismatched people who look like they have absolutely nothing in common, except they do. Sure, they're different ages and backgrounds and beliefs and ethnicities and orientations, but they have a shared love of my chili and my family. And all we ask is that they be courageous enough to meet different people and curious enough to find something in common. And you know what? They do. And they come back year after year and bring their friends. And it's not because we're the same. It's because we're different. Yet we've discovered we belong together and can have a lot of fun doing it. So if a pot of chili can do that, imagine what's possible for our country. You know, it worked for us 250 years ago. There were 13 colonies filled with the same type of mismatched individuals, different languages and customs and beliefs. Yet they came together and found common ground and stood at the edge of greatness. And they found the courage to come together and act on it. And our revolution was successful, and this great nation was born. The founders made that choice. You know, every generation makes that choice, and now it's our turn. Same choice, bigger stage. It's our future. So let's make it better. When curiosity can actually overcome assumptions, and when courage can replace reactions. Now we have a chance, because when we react, we lose our power. But when we respond, we can reclaim it. And this choice to respond in our relationships, in our world, and for our future may well be the most courageous, revolutionary act we can make. So, what will you choose? Stay reactionary or become revolutionary?